Hey, you guys, it's MJ from All to Love. How are you? I had a comment from one of you, and it was asking the one question which is very relevant on the spiritual awakening path, and it's about service to others versus, service to self in the enlightened way, which is like when you have these awakenings, oftentimes we just want to go around and like tell everybody about the news, like you're powerful and you create your own reality, and we kind of have this sense of like service, and because old paradigm has us kind of believing service looks like Mother Teresa, or service to others looks like hard work, toil, martyrdom, selflessness, in this kind of like like, we're renouncing material possession to be of service or whatever. And the deeper I go within, it's like so paradoxical, because actually that was your question, right? Like, is it just our own enlightenment, or are we should we be trying to enlighten the world? And the truth is, like, in my intuitive awareness, it's the same. It really is the one and the same thing. And yet, if we get too fixated on fixing the world, I do talk about this, like fixing the world, or like, yes, it is my job to enlighten people. Do you feel the kind of like disparity there, that really is a human vessel? My own like enlightenment and awakening and joy, and my self-care, service, and ability to be free, like in myself, that is my service to the world. That's like the truest service that we can offer one another, is our own personal mastery, our own personal freedom, our own personal transformation, our personal abundance and love. So vibrationally, the more I embody those tenets, the more that I can give that, the more that I can share that. If I'm not embodying that, if I'm not able to be present with that, then I can't share that. It's vibration teaches, words don't, right? The we as beings are always learning, in essence, through osmosis. We're learning through a dynamic energetic exchange. Words are actually very limited in the construct of how we think we're sharing verbally, or we think we're sharing physically, but those transactions aren't necessarily what we think they are. When we go deeper into energetic awareness, emotional awareness, and understanding that exchange on a deep soul level. So that's this kind of awakening, and moving into those different stargates and origins, and tuning to the womb of our own creative output. And that's another reason why our sexuality is such a huge piece of this global awakening. So I've titled it Enlightenment because I want to say to Donnie Black too, but I forget your actual. Hey, Kelly. Boop, boop, boop. I forget your actual YouTube avatar, but so there's the piece about enlightenment. Our own enlightenment is truly, truly like the enlightenment of the world. And in my own journey, if I get too distracted on like fixing people or enlightening or helping people, I get weirdly, sometimes I feel like I go into this like arrogance and superiority, and or I like feel it or sense it in other teachers or other guides and stuff, where like any of us, we just ebb and flow and kind of get up our own arses basically, and then usually some kind of event or something or other will humbly put us back in our place, because we don't fix each other, we don't heal one another, we can only be that state of being. So in my healed state, I am the most effective healer for other. And yet if I'm trying to like tell you how to heal yourself, or like you know what I mean, like we can share wisdom, but like, no, oh, you need to do this or you need to do that, then in a weird way, it's like I'm in denial of your connection to source, your connection to your intuition, because the process and the healing and the atonement and the ascension, all this stuff, uh, the way my intuition feels is completely unique. There are similarities, there's threads of resonances, obvi, because we're all one. But the actual intimate subtlety of working out our unique process of deducing that for oneself is unique. So you can only do it for ourselves. And then we just show up and support and love one another, right? So global awakening, so this self, like, going within, and the enlightenment is like one and the same of this global awakening. The macros, the micro, the micros, the macro. We are the universe. The universe is us. And so this us kind of like waking up to our broader potential is one and the same. So this is the paradoxical kind of polarity of the world that we're seeing, and the global awakening, or the creation of new paradigm, is that as we here birth and live the new vibrashe, the old world is dying. And I say that with so much love and respect and gratitude. The economy as we know it to be is like bottomed out underneath itself. This insight's been coming for years, but like the actual manifestation of it is what I'm feeling here and here now. And this isn't like economic collapse in like one country. This is an economic global awakening, global economic collapse. The illusion and the veil of what we think of as the economy is disappearing. The veil's lifted, and so more and more humans see the disparity of the false economy, because it's not grounded in truth, and it's not grounded in equanimous exchange, right? It's actually grounded in fear, separation, and greed. Well, in fairness, you could say that greed is just a natural byproduct of fear and separation. If we live in fear, we're naturally greedy, because we're afraid. It's like, you're going to take that from me. I need to take it. Because we're in fear. We're in separation. You think I'm separate from you. Therefore, there is fear there. Therefore, I must protect myself by hoarding and pillaging or whatever, right? So this isn't for fear. You can always reach out if it instills fear in you. But again, the economy is an illusion of our own creation. So the collapse of it is just a way to describe the fact that that old modality is no longer in service to us. We need to let that go and create service to self through pioneering new structures and systems that align with the new harmonic grid, right? No, this is pure intuitive, Kelly. I also don't watch news. I don't like I in a weird like you could say, like, I literally have no idea what's going on. I just get bits and bobs via conversations with friends, family, clients, and maybe like YouTube. So this is pure intuition. Um, and again, not from places of fear, but within the economic collapse, I'm feeling like there's something going to happen or happening with the housing market as well. Um, and it feels like a wave of movement. It feels like a tsunami wave of energetic movement that again is collapsing stuff. But the paradox of this apparent chaotic collapse or confusion, mass confusion, is again the birthing of the new. It's think a baby born and the mother screaming, and the baby's mother. There's like this intense, crazy shit happening, but then actually, it's like it's creation. It's the gift of life. It's birthing is like the most precious thing ever. But within all of these like beautiful creative aspects, there's like the destruction, the fear, the pain, the craziness, right? Alina said sort of the same as you tonight. I do too, actually. Keep getting water and waves. Okay. Nice reflection. Yeah, and that's been coming in for a few months now, these waves. And I had a really powerful meditation months ago with that, like like a tsunami tidal wave. And I was on like a little boogie board. It was just like the intuition is like, hold on tight, hold on really tight. We're moving really fast. And then we're actually the wolf. Yep. Yep. This is it, right? We're we're moving with that. and the womb, like, it's like the womb is coming alive, the womb within us. So the womb is what's connected to the womb of creation in the hollow earth. So this is like the true rebirth cycle, a potent rebirth cycle of the earth being herself. And we are just riding the wave of that. I'm pretty sure that's what we always came here for, knowing that earth would be moving it from this one frequential reality into another frequential reality. And we literally were just like, bam, this is gonna be fun, yeah. So we like incarnated in these forms, traversed the darkness, traversed separation, went through this whole experiment, and now we're just riding the waves of this next level of creation, which somehow, again, it's all paradoxical and weird as anything, because it's purely intuitive, right? And that there's affirmations and reflections happening everywhere with people that are connected to matrix reality, and then feedbacking that back to me. um but I'm like, the more the intuition like just is infinite intelligence, the more those of us working with it just need to keep following it, listening, feeling, and then teaching from that place of that connectedness, and knowing that we are all unique vessels. We all have our own chemistry and electrical uh, system to work with and operate from, which is again why it's so important for those of us on the path to root it into our own authenticity, because it doesn't look the same. You know, some of us, I know I'm an advocate for plant medicine, some people might not be, and that's going to align with different people. um I work very much with like cellular light force, like light, channeling light from solar world, and like using that light frequency to heal any disharmony in my cellular body, and that work with substances and things that I enjoy on this earth plane, to continue to raise the vibration and keep clear, but at the same time, moment to moment, day to day, using breath, light field connection to harmonize my own light field um, within myself. Okay, and then so with the economic collapse, this is also already happening. This is regarding that comment about mass migration. In a way, as far as like the world view and the like the world order ring goes, the economic collapse is in a way totally connected to mass migration and the dissolution of the old paradigm, because part of the dissolution of the old paradigm is that the veils get lifted, and you could say that the boundaries, so it's like one and the same. Mass awakening, global awakening, veils get lifted, the boundary and the borders disappear. So once more and more humans start to see that the borders are false, that they're not real, that there are no real borders and boundaries that divide us on this planet, that's gonna only create a sense of momentum with mass migration. What's important with mass migration is that we ourselves are having to find deeper compassion for what we're having to understand is like we are one people, and we've lived in this separation and division for so long. We think it's the reality. It's not the reality. Earth doesn't have real boundaries or borders. We created them. As we awaken to our heart field, we have more compassion for one another. And what's really important with mass migration is that we open our hearts, to one another. These are women and children just like us. And we also have to be responsible. We have to accept responsibility for the war cycles on this planet, and the fact that we have created this effect, this result. Mass migration didn't happen because those annoying immigrants over there. Mass migration happened because of our consumerist capitalist world, war driven, bombing the shit out of different places for either their oil, their power, their resources, or simply to dictate foreign policy. And then the innocent people of those nations are forced to flee, right? They're and then natural disasters, and of course the economic collapse. Like, people are having to move, and all of us are being asked to move. That's why we have the internet, because we're all being called to perhaps go to different places in different parts of the world. Yes, total responsibility and awakening to the expanded heart field. I feel you on this. Nice one, Silver Serpent. Um, so my main just right now, because so there's again polarity and paradox here. We're continuing to rise higher and higher, vibrationally speaking. We might have more energy, we might want to sleep less, but at the same time, we might get slammed with fatigue, depending on the different codes and energies we're having to integrate within any one cycle. So the waves are going to keep coming. We're going to keep vibrating higher, more love, more ecstasy, more bliss. We might have be called to food or take substance or whatever it might be to help ground us and keep us centered and focused in this time space reality. Some of the most important things, and I say it pretty much every time, is to stay in your meditate, keep meditating, drop in, dropping into that space, that neutral void. That neutral void is really, really where we're birthing all this new energy from. It's not from our thoughts, it's not from our past patterns, it's not from what we think, right? So we really, really kind of just meditate. And here is another kind of swing. I don't It's not like I just, oh, gotta meditate when I'm feeling icky or feeling anxious or feeling disgruntled. It's like, for me, I often meditate when I'm in a spectrum or in a polarity stretch. So if there's anxiety, uncomfortable, da da da, I can remember, oh, discipline my mind, meditate, right? And the meditation will obviously help me lift myself up, or at least find my way back to center when I'm low. But at the same time, I do it also when I'm high, right? When I'm ecstasy, bliss, when I'm feeling like, because that's when you talk about the waves, I'm often experiencing the waves like that, like literal waves of energy that are moving through my body. They'll just hit me at any time. And I'm just like it's just like coming up on pills or something like that, but it's not that. So it's like I'm having to ground and anchor those higher vibrational frequencies into my beingness, as well as be present with and transform the lower densities as and when those get triggered out of me as well. So there's this ebbing and flowing of infinite cycling. We are rising, but we're having to continuously let go of the projection, the mental projection, because we're really, really, really having to honor the limitedness of the old mind. How that new mind integrates into the embodiment process is, I don't think something like we're controlling necessarily, because the synaptic firing of the brain is happening as a byproduct of the energy, the emotional work. The gaps we're creating in mind through meditation is again part and parcel of helping us rewire the brain, rewire the programming, and keep opening up our vessels to higher vibration. Bringing in new codes from the sacred dark void from beyond the matrix encodings. There, nice one. Yes! Silver Serpent! I appreciate your reflections this morning. I maybe have seen you here, I'm not sure, but this is all part of it. Like, I engage with very, very, very little, a bit of astrology and sometimes a bit of tarot for fun. I work with clients, I meditate, I relax, I'm fairly solitary, and this is just, oh, brilliant. Brilliant, Silver Serpent. You are new. So I share just intuitively. And sometimes even when I share, stuff comes out that I'm like, what is this? What am I even saying? But the more I'm finding you guys, the more I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so real. We are so vibrating on some level. And then that's really nice, because that's come through and you've just affirmed it and confirmed it for me. So thank you so much. Okay, guys. So all of this economic collapse, mass migration, there's nothing to be frightened of. All we have to do is meditate and find that neutral place, find that peace and love from within us, and be willing to open our hearts to compassion and delve into deeper connections. This is something I'm endeavoring in myself and in my body. There's a deeper awareness of sexual energy, pleasure for the physical body in a really contained and sacred way that also continues to elevate us. I'm not quite there yet, so I'm not sharing properly, but I will eventually when that's happening for me. So that's it, you guys. This is the weekend for me. I'll be fully completing Zenful Zero Waste. Um, and this is our last week. So we're delivering week 8, and then this week I'll have it up on site so that when you purchase, you just get sent one email, and then you're going to have access to the full course. And then I'm so excited, off to Indonesia to give the money that we've raised for Safawi and the family to continue building their house. He's sent me a couple messages, just being so grateful, like, we don't know how to repay you kind of thing. And it's like, well, you're never going to repay us, Ove. We're just going to be friends for life. So we're going to, or I'm going to Lombok. But then the beautiful thing, which I didn't even realize, as you do, these things are always in the flow and miraculous, but I'm going to be filming and writing a significant amount of Spirituality Simplified. We're building a list now, so there's quite a few of you who have reached out and put your name down to be on the list for Spirituality Simplified, which we're going to be launching in January 2019, right after the holidays. Vegan Love is coming out in March. Unplug for Freedom, which is going to be teamed up alongside French Alp Retreat with paragliding and yoga in June. So Unplug for Freedom is our final course of the Be the Change online course series, which I'm really excited about. And we're getting really, really good feedback from just the humor of the courses, but also when people start to awaken to the waste movement, the zero waste movement, it's incredibly overwhelming. So one thing that Katie, our online teacher and pioneer, has done is that, like, her whole thing, because she had so many different like mental breakdowns mental emotional breakdowns when she was going zero waste. So her biggest piece is just like, guys, you've got to be chill, and we got to be not hard on each other. Same, that's also Love's approach also with veganism, is like, I'm not here to make meat eaters and cheese eaters feel bad. It has to do with education and love and compassion. It has to do with, but guys, we all share the ocean, and we don't want to, I'm not going to make people feel bad about buying I still buy, I'm not fully zero waste, you guys. I promote it because I'm passionate about it, and I do it because I want more people to do it. And so I hope that by sharing my fails and my wins and all of that, like, I posted about pampering myself yesterday or 2 days ago, and then one of my Insta followers was like, oh, you found vegan nail polish. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I was so on the fact that I failed at zero waste, being like, I don't think nail polish is zero waste, certainly not the gel stuff and like all of the packaging, and vanity gets in the way, but I wanted the self-care. So I'm like thinking about zero waste. And then she's like, is it even vegan? I'm like, oh my God, no. Apparently nail polish isn't vegan and cruelty free. So it's funny, right? Because I haven't had my nails done in probably like 3 or 4 years. I was kind of into it, and then I went off of it because I just felt like I needed natural nails and to give my nails a bit of a break. And then, I don't know, maybe it's this like weird Venus in retrograde thing, but I decided to get some French gels, like just to beautify and pamper myself, because I had some time off in London this week and there was a nail salon, and I just didn't even think. About it being vegan, as you often do. So I'm so thankful when you guys address that shit, because literally these are just the 4 pillars that I try my best to live my life by. And I like to be really honest, and I never, ever, ever want to make meat eaters or plastic buyers or anything like that feel bad. However, this is a time of raising awareness. This is a time of sharing with people and just saying, you know what, I feel lighter and better for being vegan. Maybe you'll want to try the same. I feel like a more conscious, responsible human being by doing my utmost to be as zero waste or low waste as possible. And, I could share with you just some of the little tips and tools I do, where Katie gives us in the online course, she gives us absolutely the kind of all the like step-by-step, room by room in your house, how to be like literally 99.9% zero waste. And yet constantly she's like, but chill, and like, don't be hard on yourself. And if you need to, so I'm kind of more in that chill space where, for example, I do my utmost to not buy produce, especially so fruits and veg that are packaged. which means some days, like, I might only get some tomatoes and carrots, but it's better for me. I feel better about that than, yeah, buying a whole bunch of shit in plastic that to me shouldn't be fucking wrapped in plastic. Plus I've started like communicating to retailers and shops and stuff that I go into. So locally in the town that I've lived in, I've asked the shop owners to be like, guys, is there any way that you can import get this produce, or at least more of it, sans packaging, right? But these are big chains. So this is now actually, and this is relevant. So week 8 now, where we are in with the original cohort, they're into week 8, which is all about raising awareness for people. And that's a big part of it. It's one thing with the responsible small companies, but it's like another thing with the big brands. But I think if enough of us really get on board and start to be like, we really need to make some changes, corps will be forced to change, you guys. This is the thing about power, the truth of power and the truth of mass global awakening. It's that the so-called forces that be, the so-called like dark forces or whatever that be, they're just not that powerful. All of that power is based on fear. That power is based in our enslavement and fear. Once you transform your fear, you'll realize that that's an illusion. And you're like, oh, fuck, bloody hell. I don't need to be worried about money at all. It's all an illusion. I don't need to be worried about these people at all. It's all an illusion. Those people are just playing some fucked up game for themselves. Keep up the grind to you. So thank you. Thank you for your messages this morning. I really love and appreciate you guys. And please do keep your comments coming. I am a juicy creator and like I have so much creative content, but I gotta say, when you guys like comment, it really helps me, I feel anyway, offer you maybe more clarity and insight based on like what we're working on here, because your guys is reflecting me, guys is reflecting you guys, and we're helping each other out. So for this week, this is the last week, you guys. Not necessarily, I might do this kind of promotion again, but I'm taking on like probably not more than 2, but maybe 3 personal coaching clients or private coaching clients. So for this week, you can meet me. That's the actual like schedule. Meet me, MEET me .so /all to love. I can put the link in here in one of the videos. Hey, Truth Kindness, how are you? Actually, I'll put it here. Meet me .so /all to love. So just for the next week, right? Yeah. So tomorrow, Sunday session, 6 a.m. For the next week, you can book a 30-minute call with me just to chat. And then usually after the call, I send you like the different package options, and then you can decide if it's something you want to do. And that's it. I thank you guys. So it's been some of you I've got to talk to, and like I love you. I'm just like, isn't this so cool that you've never met someone in the flesh, but just based on these shares, you're like friends. I've had about 5 free consultations, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is like talking to my buddies, talking to my friends down the road kind of thing. Hey, Truth Kindness. Oh. Love vibrashe. I'm giving you, I do this sometimes for you newbies. I do the love vibrashe all over your face. And then like virtual hug. Because virtual hugs, they're pretty much as good as the real deal, except they're not. And we all know it, because intimacy and physical touching and connection is very important for all of us. So this week, you guys, check it out. Do a 30-minute free call with me. I think my coaching packages are really reasonable. I don't get people complaining about them, so that's good to go. Plus, we have like the options. We have discount options if you join the Fearless Life Tribe, which is good for us at All to Love. So thank you guys for the thumbs up. Thank you for your comments. Thank you just for constantly being there and sharing. And I love you loads, right? No, it doesn't. The heart symbol means a friend, but I've also found that. Are you talking about the Ultra Love's logo randomly? Because the Ultra Love logo also some people look at it and they're like, wait a minute, that looks like something. And I'm like, I know. It's a female empowerment company. Divine feminine. Anyway, I love you guys. Have an awesome day. Omega Piskim, nice to see you again. And Silver Serpent, really cool to meet some new people. Kelly Ryan, love you, girl. You guys have an awesome day. Oh, and don't forget, I've got like another 2 weeks of the Lombok fundraiser as well. The reason I reminded myself is because I just got an email saying someone's just donated to the page. So check it out. I'm sure some of the description has it. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much, Omega. You guys take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And I so look forward to speaking to you soon. It is. Love you, truth, kindness. Truth, kindness, shower you with love. Have a great day, you guys. Peace out.